I want you to look at this map. These are not missiles, they're payments. Oil payments, debt payments, bank transfers, trade invoices. The invisible bloodstream of the global economy. Now watch what happens when one country gets cut off. No bombs, no invasion, no soldiers crossing border. Just a financial switch being flipped. That's how the dollar became one of the most powerful weapons that America has.
The topic of economic warfare.
How 4 U.S. presidents unleashed economic warfare across the globe.
Trump does have the ability to cut off any individual, any company, any entire country from the dollar at the stroke of a pen if he wants to.
But it didn't start as a weapon. It started as a substitution. In 1944, before World War II was even over, delegates from 44 countries met in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. The plan was to design the financial system that would come after the war. The idea was stability. Currencies would be tied to the dollar, and the dollar would be tied to gold at $35 an ounce. The world needed a financial anchor, and after the war, America had the strongest economy, the deepest gold reserves. So the dollar became more than just American money, it became the language of global trade. Once the world starts speaking your financial language, you start to gain this strange power. If oil, debt, trade, reserves, and bank transfers all move through dollars, then access to dollars becomes access to the world. And losing that access can become a punishment. This is what sanctions really are. They're not just a list of rules. Sanctions are pressure applied through banks, payment systems, trade routes. The U.S. Treasury Sanctions Office can target governments, companies, banks, ships, billionaires, military officials, and entire sectors of an economy. And that power does not only come from America saying, you cannot trade with us. It comes from America saying, if you help them, you may lose access to us. That is why sanctions can reach far beyond US borders. A bank in Europe, Asia, or the Middle East may still comply because the dollar system is too important to risk. The battlefield is not a desert. It's a payment network. We saw this clearly after Russia invaded Ukraine. Western governments did not just send weapons. They froze assets, sanctioned banks, targeted Russia's central bank, and disconnected selected Russian banks from SWIFT. SWIFT is not the dollar itself. It is a messaging system that banks use to communicate payments, but cutting banks off from it can make moving money across borders harder. Like, a lot harder. This is the hidden machinery of modern power. You do not have to occupy a country if you can isolate its banks, freeze its reserves, and make companies afraid to touch it. But there is a serious problem with turning infrastructure into a weapon. The dollar is powerful because the world trusts it. Every time that trust becomes leverage, other countries start asking the same question. What happens when this weapon is pointed at us?
Our world is in big trouble. Divides are growing deeper, inequalities are growing wider, and challenges are spreading farther.
And that doesn't mean that the dollar's about to collapse. It is still dominant. The Bank for International Settlements 2025 survey showed the dollar on one side of about 90% of global foreign exchange trades. 90%. But dominance and invincibility are not the same thing. America built a system that made the dollar useful to the world. Then it learned that the system could be used to punish the world. That is the strange power of the dollar. It is money, it is infrastructure, and when America decides to use it, it can be a weapon. If you enjoy system breakdowns like this, please check out some of the other videos on our channel and subscribe so you can see more content like this. Thanks for watching The Hidden Media.